Good afternoon. Yes, it's afternoon already. It's about 20 minutes of 1. So, woke up this morning to pretty thick fog and no wind. And so we kind of were deliberately slow to do our morning chores and eat breakfast and get ready to set sail. And didn't have a definite plan for when we were going to leave, but a slight breeze came up at about 11. So we raised the anchor then, sailed out of the little cove, and the forecast again was not quite right. The forecast is for east winds, still is, and the winds in fact were out of the west. They were very light. So anyway, we want to go basically west and then north to our destination for today. So we sailed northwest, which was over towards the one end of Eggemogan Reach, and we made slow progress to there in not really dense fog, and I'm much less concerned about fog in this area than I am when I'm off Rockland, when the ferry's zipping in and out and other commercial traffic. But when we got across to that area, the wind kind of died and came back from the south, maybe a little bit west of south, which is better for us. So now we can go west, which is what we're doing, making our way west near Cape Rosier. And when we get to the other corner of Cape Rosier, we'll take a right-hand turn and go north towards the town of Castine. And that'll be an anchorage we haven't been in before. So that will be interesting. So we'll see if we get there under sail. Winds are very light. We do have the UPS up, and we're making 1.5 to 2 knots. Fortunately, current hasn't really been an issue. So that's the report. It's a little after 5 o'clock, and we have anchored in Castine Harbor. We've actually only been here a little over an hour. There's a lot of fiddling around involved to get here. We'll look at the chart later, hopefully. At the moment, though, I'm going to give you an abbreviated look at the harbor. So behind me, well, the skies are kind of, they were blue, but now they don't look so blue to me. But there's a front coming in, and it's behind you. We'll turn around and take a look at that. That's the front. So we've just raced around and gotten the pop top enclosure up and gotten everything pretty ship shape. Again, over there, I guess that's kind of blue. And back that way. So we are supposed to get strong winds out of the north overnight and at least part of tomorrow. So this is part of that. Apparently it's related to a tropical storm or depression or something that's out over the Atlantic off the east coast. Odetta, I think. So we'll see what unfolds, and we have to think about dinner. And before dinner, while we still have some light, we'll take a look at the chart. Everything we did today will be on one chart because we didn't go very far. So here's Pickering Island and the little cove we were in. And as I said, we stayed late, didn't leave till about 11 o'clock because there was no wind and there was no visibility until then. So we left with a little bit of wind and still very limited visibility. Forecast for winds coming out of the east, which would have been perfect, but didn't happen. Winds were actually out of the west. So we managed to come up on a tack northwest up towards this buoy, which is ER, which stands for Eggermagan Reach, because this is one end of the Eggermagan Reach passage. And the wind shifted some. I mean, we tacked back this way a little bit, and then the wind shifted, and we were able to make a westerly course. We were close into the coast, and we got some pictures of things in there. And turned the corner and came up, and we were headed toward Castine, which is up here, and obviously not very far. We got up, about this far, and the wind died, so we started the engine, which was just as well, because we wanted to do a little exploring, and things are a little tricky in here, and we came up to check out this anchorage in here, which seems okay, but not for tonight with the strong north winds predicted. I didn't feel that comfortable with that, although it probably would have been fine, but wanted to check out other places. So we came out and around and here into the large Smith Cove. And we looked at a couple of possibilities, but ended up way down in here. Hopefully this won't turn into be an unwise decision, because if I drag very far, I'm up on rocks. But, well, it's very pretty, though, otherwise. And there's a bunch of moorings down in here for some odd reason, although there's nothing like a yacht club or marina or anything, so don't know what's up with that. But that's the chart for today. Just an update. It's about 6 o'clock now, and that line of clouds seems to have stalled right over us. Don't know what's up with that. You look at the boats here in the harbor. There's a bunch of boats on moorings, and they're pointed all different ways. I don't know if you can see that. That boat's resting up against its mooring ball. That's not all that common. That one's pointed bow to my left, and that one is pointed bow to my right. Very odd. Over this way, we still have bluish sky with a few more clouds. Back that way still looks kind of ominous. And there's been some rumbling, but that's it so far.